Good morning, everyone. Morning, the Fisk, Apothecary, Human. Morning, Senos. You're catching some action on BAOS, BOXL, and a BQ. It looks like I'm sitting down here. We have this penny stock moving. We might be having a penny stock theme again, considering how many of these penny stocks have been moving quite a bit. I mean, this is a decent move for the bounce off of VWAP here. This 5-minute ABCD pattern and went from 112 all the way up to 180. That's a huge move for a penny stock. 23%. EOS, another penny. Yeah, big move after hours. Came back down. EOXL. Four all the way to 650. Came back down now. Penny stock land? Seems that way. Morning, Harris. Morning, Vito and Drews. Morning, Troy. I'm curious what this penny stock's going to do. I mean, MACD is negative right now. It's doing a consolidation. It'll have at least one more 5-minute candle before 7 a.m. Moving average isn't that close by. Normally, this is a stock that seems to have pretty tight ranges. Yeah, my mic is working. Maybe my face wasn't close enough to the mic. Is it loud enough like this? My OBS, it shows my volume levels in the yellow. So if it's still quiet, then it might be you. But sometimes it gets a little bit quiet if I turn my face away while I'm looking at the charts. Wow, look at that pop. I don't take trades before 7 a.m. usually. So, like, I do very occasionally, but I don't like taking trades before 7 a.m. because the volume is going to be lighter. Since most brokers don't allow trading before 7 a.m. And also, one thing I noticed in the past is that um, I need a little bit to orient myself and settle down because sometimes when I sat down in the past, if my charts were open and something was moving, and I didn't like wait a little bit, I would end up jumping into trades like right as I sat down. I would like end up FOMOing into trades. So I kind of made it a rule not to touch anything before 7 a.m. Sit down a little bit early and get oriented, and then just wait. Don't FOMO into anything. This is pretty extended on the 5 minute. It's got 5 green candles in a row now. MACD was negative on that pop as well. Nice pullback from 187 all the way up to 210. But I think this is going to be a little bit extended. But it is our top leading gainer. Wow, it breaks through anyways. That's impressively strong. It double topped and then it came back up and broke through anyways. Yeah, that's kind of what I try to do. Right now I haven't been sizing up at all, but I'll probably start sizing up soon. But I usually try to go for quarter size on like the first trade, and then I size up if I build a cushion. I'm still not sure if I want to continue doing that or if I want to just trade like half share size off the get-go after I built like a weekly cushion, and then trade full share size after I get cushion on the half share size. Because I would like to size up soon. This move does make me feel a little bit like too bad I didn't trade it down here. Because I did open my computer at around 6:30 and I saw this moving. But you know, my rules, as I said, doesn't allow me to trade this stuff. Running momentum trader doesn't allow me to trade it before 7 a.m. Sometimes we get some good moves like this, but more often than not, I've been finding that it's not very good to sit down and then jump straight into trades. $257. I mean, this is kind of forming a bull flag pattern right at 7 a.m. for a potential pop. But I'm still concerned that it's extended. It might be a 7 a.m. trap, yeah. It wasn't. It was not. Ham. Morning, Grace. Should have just pressed the button on that one. I mean, it like it is extended. Like you look at how many 5 minute green 5 minute candles there are, and like this isn't gonna go any higher. I don't think it, and it could, but it kind of needs a consolidation at this point. So it's questionable whether that would work, but that was certainly a very nice pop all the way up to 280. Yeah, that's unfortunate that you can't trade it on IBKR. If this really does go higher and breaks that daily high, um, I mean, one thing to keep in mind is that short sellers are thinking the exact same thing as me, right? Is that this can't go higher. So, like, at what point are they going to get squeezed is the question, and it's just going to go parabolic. That's the tight line to walk here. Morning, adversary. Olaf. Yeah, it's closing with a gravestone now in the 1 minute. I have 290. Hey, Mimrath. How much do I pay per month? Um, well, it's $70 for Charts Watcher, about $50 for Trading View, 120 bucks, and then $50 for the Pro software. So it's about 170 bucks a month. Not including commissions on Trade Zero. Still cheaper than still cheaper than Warrior Trading. Why am I using Trading View? Charts Watcher just has a bunch of little annoyances that I don't like with the embedded Trading View engine. I still have a Trading View annual sub that I got for a nice discount, which expires in November. I'm using Trading View for now, and I'm gonna determine whether I want to deal with my annoyances to continue using Charts Watcher or not, and just cancel my Trading View sub to save a little bit more money. I mean, there are some things that I like about Trading View, especially for stream, that I might choose it over Charts Watcher, but it kind of depends, I guess. If I can get another annual sub, maybe I'll consider it. I did look into that other AI scanner and charting software that someone recommended to me the other day, which has like the AI tools in it. I mean, that's also something to consider if maybe I want to try out an AI tool type of charting software or whatever. But I mean, just small annoyances, right? Like TradingView is clear because I can have these four charts linked together here without a bunch of wasted space. Charts Watcher has like a bunch of wasted space in between because each chart is separate. They each have to have their own separate bars for everything. Like they have to have their own separate drawing tool bars. They have to have their own separate like switches and like the 250 millisecond bars and all that stuff. When you draw on the main charts, you have to refresh the side charts for them to appear. I can't really, like if I want to change my side charts with a click, I can't really do that because my scanners have to be linked to a chart for it to swap over. And then last time I was using it, I was legitimately going to give Charts Watcher a try, but then I had a bunch of issues with it. Like my 10-second chart was flashing at me, and that caused me to miss CLRO, which was really annoying. And then the volume bars were being weird after I set them up. They were just barcoding. But I mean, just small annoyances here and there, right? I don't have any issues with Trading View. Like I don't have any annoyances with Trading View. The refresh time on the chart is a little bit longer. It's 1 second instead of 250 milliseconds, but that doesn't really bother me because I don't use, like, I don't need the fast refresh rate on the charts because I'm watching level 2 when I'm entering positions. And just glancing at the charts. Does my software indicate short interest and easy to borrow or hard to borrow? Trade Zero isn't a very good judge of easy to borrow or hard to borrow, it feels like. So I would say no. Like it does tell me on my level 2 whether it's short sale restricted. And it says locate or whatever required, but it's very rare to see the easy to borrow symbol compared to something like Lightspeed. So I'd say it's not a very good judge of that. As for short interest, yeah, I have the ability to look at short interest and stuff, but it's not a metric that I particularly care about. I care more about the price action. I don't have it. I don't have it anywhere in my scanners or my charts or anything or my software. I don't look at it. It doesn't matter to me. Got another penny stock on the move. A no news penny stock. 200 is up at 170. We're right at this daily level. All right, so far I don't like this pattern. Got higher volume selling. A PLAG move? No, I don't trade regular trading hours because I have a 9 to 5 job, so I'm busy working. I also don't want to take any trades off stream if possible. I might take like an occasional one here and there, but I prefer um live streaming all of my trades. So this is kind of doing a 5-minute bull flag. OFAL. MACD's still negative on it though. I have a little bit of a problem taking bull flags on the 5-minute chart because technically my stop should be at the low of the 5-minute pullback, which is 220. If I take this, I would have to take it above for the break of 250 and then set my stop at like 245 or something. Because I can't set my stop all the way down at 220, that'd be too far. Oops, this is RMCF. Really grindy. Yeah, I could do that, but so the question is whether this is going to pull away or not, because it's like it broke Hive Day and it moved 5 cents, right? Like it's not something that I particularly like trading because it moves so slowly. Like right now, it's kind of forming a 1 minute micro pullback. But is this going to, like, break 135 and then pull away 10 cents? I don't think so. It's a 6 million share float, less than $1.50. Has no news. Food confectioners company, close to the 200 moving average. Well, I guess I underestimated the catalyst, or not the catalyst, but the theme, the penny stock theme. So it did move 10 cents on that micro pullback, which would have been worth it. Because normally on penny stocks, I like to risk 5 cents to make at least 10 cents. But I don't even normally like trading penny stocks. People love chocolate, so it's moving. Sure. Oh boy. Looks like looks like I was completely wrong, right? I can forecast what happens, but only the market can tell you what the right side is. Yeah, that would have been a great trade for that 1 minute micro pullback, 130 all the way up to 160. I'm curious if Ross is you know, going outside of his normal preferred stock selection to trade these, since it seems like that we're having a little bit of a penny theme. I can't trade it up here though. Like, I missed the boat. I'd be chasing it if I jumped in up here, I think. was wrong again, I guess. Broke the 200 moving average. I guess I need a dunce cap to put on my head whenever I make bad calls like this micro pullback's not gonna pull away 10 cents. I gotta switch out my Canada cap for dunce cap. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in my ability to hold positions when there's no exit indicator on these grindy stocks. Right here, if I bought down at 130 for the 1 minute micro pullback, there's no exit indicators all the way up until like 235 here when this double tops. So probably could have pulled out $1 per share on, I would probably buy 200 shares on a penny. So your exit indicator was right here at this double top, since it failed to break 250 and formed a gravestone. Is there actually news on this beg pad? Because my charts watcher doesn't say that there's news. If there was news, then I actually would have like heavily considered getting in. But I thought it was just a sympathy penny with no news. Hmm. So the 200 moving average is right about there. AK filing. Yeah, I see on TradingView an hour ago, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory board exploring sale. Strategic review reveals interest. So TradingView has it. Why doesn't Charts Watcher have it? Well, this was an hour ago on TradingView. I don't normally look at the news symbol on TradingView, but So, I mean, it kind of sucks. I talked myself out of two trades today that would have been huge green trades on these pennies. OFAL right at 7 a.m. on that pop was like a 50-cent winner. Probably would have bought 100 shares on that. And then this on something that's this cheap, I would buy 200 shares probably. Would have scalped out like $1. So, I mean, you never know what the market's going to do, I guess, though, in hindsight, right? Like everything's hindsight in 2020. I don't like trading pennies. I think that I thought that OFAL was too extended since we had literally like 5 or 6 green candles on the 5 minute. I thought that this wouldn't pull away because it's above a 5 million share float and it didn't have any news that I could see. And the 200 is somewhat close at 172. And it's a food confectioner's company. So, I mean, sometimes I really underestimate how strong a theme really is for market sentiment. Why do I change the share count? I changed how many shares I'm willing to buy based on the ranges of the stock. So for a penny stock, you see how it's grinding around? Like it doesn't move very quickly. So that means that you can increase your risk, but at the same time, you have to decrease your reward. So if I'm risking 5 cents because it's not moving very quickly, then my target is going to be like my first profit target is going to be like 10 cents. But if I keep my share size 50 shares, then if I'm only risking 5 cents, then I'm only going to be risking like $2.50, right? Like I want to be risking about the same across most of my trades. If I take a penny stock, I have to take a bigger share size, 5 cent stop with a 10-cent reward. I would have risked less on OFAL because it was extended. Like I would have bought 100 shares because it was extended and closer to $2. But on this, like this was a fresh breakout, a fresh pattern. Like this would have easily been a 200 share trade. Yeah, how people think of risk and like what they're risking is different, I suppose. But for me, it doesn't really make sense to trade 100 to 2 anything 100 to 200 across the board because your results are going to be a bit less a bit less consistent. Like if you, for example, something that's $5 or $6, if it has a really low float on breaking news, can move like a $10 stock. Like you can have $1 per share ranges with big spreads. Like are you still going to buy 200 shares of that? Right? And then if you end up losing on that trade, you can end up with one big trade near your max, one big losing trade near your max loss. Like sometimes when you look back at your metrics, maybe a week or two down the line, you see that those big losing trades or those smaller winning trades on the opposite side of the spectrum. If you trade 100 shares on a penny and it moves 5 cents, you see a tiny winner. Sometimes you won't remember in hindsight all of those trades, and you're gonna wonder why your you know your losers and your winners are inconsistent. That's how I feel about it at least. Take share size based on the ranges rather than you know, just a flat size across the board, in my opinion. No, no trades on the chocolate factory. I don't normally like trading penny stocks, and I underestimated, you know, the penny theme, I guess, that we've been having in the past couple of days. But in hindsight, I should have taken at least this 1 minute micro pullback, if not the cup and handle below high of day, like right here on this 10-second pattern. Or sorry, that was later on. That was below the 200 moving average. Sorry. I mean, that would have been okay as well, but I felt like it was extended up there. I meant like right down here. In one of these pullbacks. Hindsight is 2020. I just, you know, I don't normally do well on pennies. I really don't like penny stock themes. But I can't deny that sometimes I gotta let go of my biases to try and trade what the theme is. So we're kind of doing a 5 minute pullback here. Um, I'm not sure if I agree with that necessarily. Like if I bought this 1 minute micro pullback and held for an exit indicator, for example, it'd be from, you know, I'd be holding from 130 up to 230 or so up till this exit indicator and this tweezer top, which would have been $1 per share on a penny stock, which would have been fantastic. There were quite a few others recently where, as long as you wait for exit indicators, um, I guess yesterday there were a few ones where it was like pop and drop. So I mean, I suppose I half agree. I half agree. Yesterday and Friday and Monday were all days that were like pop and drop with all the Chinese stocks. So yeah, no, you're right. Some of them have been working well for holds, though. I guess it depends on which one. This one's banging right up against the 200 moving average as well. Does it break 175? So it didn't hold 170. See, I mean, oh, that's so nasty. I'm gonna try not to inject my biases into penny stocks, but you know, if you think about what percentage of a move that was on a penny, that was like if I bought 200 shares there because that's normally what I would buy for a penny because I have to buy bigger share size, I would have gotten absolutely smoked. That's crazy. I'm glad I waited for the hold of the 200 moving average on that rather than just trying to FOMO in. Yeah, for sure, Kimmer. It depends on what you're willing to risk. Like, Ross risks 90% of his account in every trade. Or, sorry, not risk, but his buying power is 95% of his account in every trade for his small account because he's willing to risk that much. So, risk is going to be different for every person, what they're comfortable handling. I agree. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. I exit and it goes. You got to start tricking the market. Yell at your computer screen. I'm out, but you don't actually press the button. They're listening. Take it till you make it. That's how it works. See, the reason why this dumped is because I was actually getting ready to press my buy button. They thought, oh, we got him now. But I didn't actually press it. I tricked them. After two trades, two missed penny trades, I was actually about to press the button if it was gonna hold the 200 moving average because now there would be a lot of FOMO in the market. But they stepped on a branch and I fled like a deer. So OFAL has a pivot above around 220. This flat top, 218, 220. MACD is positive. Still our leading gainer. The question I have is this going to be like a reverse head and shoulders on the 5-minute if it breaks 220? Well, let's see what it does. This pivot is 180. MACD's still negative on it. Yeah, I'll take a position. Top is 180. We'll see if it, yeah, it's just choppy. As per usual, I get in on the backside of the moves and it's just super choppy. I thought that this was going to squeeze back up, considering it was holding the 200 moving average. So I think I'm just going to wait for something fresh. That is true. GL is up only 30%. Maybe that's the trick. Only buy US penny stocks. I bet you that I got in slightly too early. Like MACD was just a hair negative. I thought that I was going to turn positive there after it held the 200 moving average and it broke through. Then it would continue higher. But watch, this is going to hold up. MACD is finally going to actually turn positive, and then it's going to break through now this pivot that formed at 185. And then it's going to pull away and go through $2. But I've already lost once on it now. Here we go. MACD's turning positive. Nice job, Doom Trades. I don't like penny stocks for exactly this reason. They grind up while they're chopping around most of the time. When we're in a penny stock theme, now I'm feeling like I have to trade them because they're most of the opportunities throughout the day. Otherwise, I'm just sitting on my hands. But even like clean setups sometimes just chop around and they chop me out. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, I know what you mean. Joyrock, if you're in the stream, part of my rules is no self-advertisement. I'm gonna have to delete your message. Apologize. You're also new into the channel, so if you post that again, then I'll have to remove you from the Discord. Because you posted it 3 times and pinged everyone. Oh, you literally just joined. No, I'm banning you. Sorry. I mean, you joined and posted that immediately. Someone joined my Discord server and immediately pinged everyone in 3 different channels to advertise his Discord or whatever it was, his WhatsApp group. So I just banned him. I'm eventually gonna have to get some moderators. Oh, I have a Discord channel, Grace. The link is in the description for anyone that wants to join. It just has my playbook in it, and then anyone can chat in any of the channels, or you can message me on Discord. I don't mind. What's up, Harmony? So I'm surprised that any XR isn't getting more volume. The news is agreement to acquire majority stake in Logia USA Fuel Integrity Solutions for data centers. Like the data center and the AI stuff has been doing pretty well recently. And I don't know if I'm gonna trade curls on any of the penny stocks. They're gonna be really choppy on the way up, and I already got chopped out one time. So you know what they say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Shame on me. I'd be up like $200 today if I just bought early on in the moves on those pennies. But I'd be the fool to get chopped out on the backside over and over again. Oh, it did? Well, that explains this candle then. Yes, this is the spot, Grace. What's going on with BBLG? $32-month validated shelf life. Hmm. Pretty high volume selling. Alright, have a good one, GV. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. Yeah, big yikes. I really want to trade this curl. We don't have any news at 8. Is our top leading gainer. Oh boy. 218 is the pivot. 218, 220. We double bottomed, broke back through VWAP. MACD is positive. Bottom is 204. Yeah. We get Bob back up. Hmm. Do-do-do. What to do, what to do. There's nothing to do. Yeah, I did get a haircut. My hair was getting in my eyes, so I had to get rid of it. Let it flow. Well, if I let my bangs grow out long enough and my hair grow out long enough, I could have just tied it back into a ponytail. Indeed, it was adding to my technical issues. So I had charting messing up, hair in my eyes, trade zero button not sending, and what else? I think those were the main three. Have a good one, Slava. Alright, what does it do here? Like, I really don't know if I want to trade the crawl here again or not. It does have increasing volume. Low is around 205. Then it just breaks through like that. Okay, so I'll take a position with a stop of like 214. Low of the pullback is 214 for this break through the pivot. We'll see if it can continue curling. Okay, so are we gonna break down or what are we doing? I have my hand on the cell. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Oh, how annoying. I'm trying to give these penny stocks a chance, but This is what happens when I trade them. I buy in and they're just stacked with sellers. We break the pivot of 220. Stop should be 215 or even 218 being the flat top, right? Like the flat top back here is 218. So technically it should be like two levels of support, 218 and 215, 215 being the high of this previous candle back here. On a 1 minute chart, three green legs up, one fourth leg I stay out. One, two, three, four. I bought above the flat top, right? The flat top was 220. So I bought the break of the flat top since it broke up to 223. Found greater consistency trading stocks that are moving for the first time. Yeah, I said earlier, like I just get chopped out on the backside of these a lot of the time. Sometimes the pivot works great. Like when it works and it rips all the way back up to the highs. Um, Sometimes they just end up stalling out and going sideways and then coming back down like it's doing right now. Like the risk reward on them I think is fine because, you know, the one time that it does work, you get like a 3 or a 4-to-1 profit loss ratio, and then, you know, maybe the other few times you just end up with a small loss. It's just annoying after, you know, kind of avoiding it back here on the front side because I don't normally like trading penny stocks, but I really underestimated the theme. You know, when I sat down at 7 a.m., it was super extended, and I was like, maybe I just shouldn't buy this, and then it rips from 220 all the way up to 290. And then the other one, you know, I should have swapped out my dunce cap because I thought that it couldn't even move 10 cents, but then it moved $1 per share. So it's annoying in the context of things. Like I'm not annoyed that I took the trade. I mean, these could have ripped up 50 cents. I'm just annoyed that I'm red $32 after, you know, avoiding the good side of the move and then trading the chop, where it's less likely to work even though the risk reward is a bit higher. Because this is still our top leading gainer, right? It's still buyers could still step back in. You know, did I buy on the third green leg? I bought the break of 220. So I bought the top. Like to me this looks like first, second, third. You're looking at the 1 minute chart. unless you include this like first, second, third, fourth. I guess that's the fourth. Have a good one, Drews. So I have to wait for something fresh now. I can't continue trading these curls because it's just going to keep making my red day worse. So unless there's something fresh or this somehow like squeezes all the way back up to high day and does a cup and handle or something, then I can't trade it anymore. It's just going to chop me out over and over again. So I'm a fool for letting it fool me twice. No, Ross traded earlier on the front side of the move on OFAL. I don't know what if he decided to trade the other one or not. You're talking about the candle and a green run? Oh, you mean the individual candles, not the entire leg. So yeah, that would be the first, second, and third candle. I see. Something to keep in mind for the future. I'll try to keep that in mind. Do 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 do. So hopefully we get something fresh at 8:30. My max loss is $50. If I take one more trade, then I'm just done. Like if I take one more loss, then I'm just done. But um the toxic urge of going all in on the yeah, that's gambling though. I don't do gambling on my stream. I try not to. So we're just gonna chill out, and if we get a stock with news that has a pattern, I'll trade it. But if not, then I'm just gonna eat the red day. On our MCF, for example, in the 1 minute, the 723 candle closes fully outside the upper band. I've tried Bollinger Bands and those type of indicators before. I think they just messy up your charts and make things more complicated than they need to be. So, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna add any more indicators. I think we're fine. I think we just need to I think our process is fine. I mean, technically I am following my process, right? Like this is a clear pivot. It's a clear flat top pivot above 220. My strategy says MACD turns positive and I buy break of the pivot, breaking hold of the pivot. Like this is we've won on this a couple of times recently. We've seen this, quite a few times before. The difference is that this is a penny stock. If this was a stock with range, then it has a better opportunity of squeezing short sellers out because um, has a possibility of hitting greater possibility of hitting their stops. And because this is a penny stock, you're gonna have a ton of bag holders on the way up. People who buy these cheaper stocks are going to be holding more shares. So it's just going to be harder for it to curl back up. The problem is that I'm trying to apply a strategy that has EV on lower float, higher price stocks, like stocks between $3 and $10 usually, to a penny stock. Like this is $2 up here, yes, but it's still trading as if it were a penny stock because it started below a dollar. So there's going to be a lot of shares moving around. I think it depends on what the stock is doing, I guess. If it's, if it bumps up against the pivot and does a cup and handle, then I buy the cup and handle below to anticipate the break of the pivot. If it breaks the pivot, then I'll buy the hold. Like what did I do here? I'm pretty sure I saw this break. I saw this bottoming wick hold. Let me just check the timestamp to make sure. Yeah, I bought at 1309. I saw this bottoming wick hold here, and so I ended up buying, I think on this third candle, right as this was closing. So it broke, it held, like it came down and it got bought back up to 220. So I bought at 220 thinking that there's buying support at 215. That's why I set my stop to 214. So I thought that this was going to be a level of support and then this was going to continue curling up off of this pivot. Even if it did need to do a consolidation, I thought that I would be able to hold this level of support. Like if it needed to do a couple of 1-minute pullbacks, but instead it just stopped me out on the pullback. So it's 8:30. We'll see if we get any news. I mean, the trade wasn't without process, right? Like it's not like I was FOMOing into a pivot. Um, it's just that it didn't work. And the stock, being cheaper didn't help. Like what momentum trader said is probably true that, after 3 legs, it probably needs a 1-minute consolidation. But that's why we set our stop to the low of the pullback where it just got bought up through support. I thought that it had support there, even if it did need to do a consolidation, because it held. I thought I was gonna, continue curling, but being our top leading gainer and with penny stocks kind of being the focus, I thought that there would be a lot of buyers on it. Same with our RMCF as it broke that pivot. But I suppose maybe I should have taken the hint that it didn't work on our RMCF. Why would it work on OFAL? Not much difference between the two other than, I guess, RMCF, the float is a little bit higher. But that's what buying the pivot is it's supposed to be a breakout of a range, right? Like my 3 edges are supposed to be, is it making new highs or about to make new highs? Is it moving quickly or is it breaking out of a range? You know, a pivot is a range that price is bouncing between. Like if it's above VWAP and below a pivot and it's bouncing in that area, that's its consolidation. But the point that it breaks the pivot is when it's supposed to be breaking out of the range. That's when it's doing something out of the ordinary. That's supposed to be the edge of the trade. The range could be the break of VWAP, it could be the break of the pivot, or it could be break of high of day. Like those are all ranges that the stock is trading in between. So yes, it's on the backside of the move, but it's still breaking out of a range when it's breaking one of those levels. As long as MACD is positive and whatnot. And you're looking at a stock that is one of the top 5 leading gainers and is going to be in traders' focus to be traded, it should theoretically have edge when you buy it. And we've seen very recently, like many of those setups have been working where they break the pivot and then they just fly all the way back up to the highs. you know, don't really know why it's it's not working today in particular, other than they're cheaper and it's harder for them to move on the backside. That could be the only factor. I don't know. But that's the way I see it, at least. Yeah, the front side's always gonna be the easiest money move of the day, for sure. Like there's still EV on the backside, I think, when you if you trade it correctly. But the easiest money, like the highest EV, is going to be on the front side for sure. It's just that in context, like I said, it's just annoying that I missed the highest EV, like the easiest money trades of the day. And then I choose the two trades that are supposed to have some EV, and then they both end up being losing trades. Like it kind of is what it is, right? But it doesn't feel good to be on another red day. We had a red day Friday, no trade, or red day Thursday, no trade day Friday, red day Monday. Small green on yesterday. And then we give most of it back today, or all of it back, I guess, and then a little bit of extra red today. And we still have Thursday and Friday. Yesterday, I missed that big move on FRTT because of hesitation. And I think that there was a move I missed on Monday as well. Um, the Monday was JWEL, which you could say, like, JWEL was a break of a pivot, right? On Monday. Like, that's where that big move came from. It broke that pivot and then went all the way up $1 a share. So there's our most recent pivot break, right? But that moved very quickly once it broke the pivot. It didn't hold the pivot. I would have needed to buy to anticipate it instead. So missed JWEL Monday, missed FRTT yesterday, missed the two front sides of the move on these penny stocks today because I was wary of them. Just some tuition money. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, that's true. But it doesn't look like we're gonna get any other opportunities today so far. I see SPRC popping up with news. this one had a move on the 29th of July. Suppose the volume wasn't very big. Move some. It's still very light volume. It was a $2.50 per share drop. Here's the break of the pivot. And this is what I was looking for, right? See how strong these can be? And they finally break. Let's see, do we hold high of day? Low is 280. That's a pretty big topping tail though, from 350 all the way down. Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed now myself at this stock. Low of this candle was 270 or so, 269. So this could be an ABCD pattern. We'll see. Let's let the 9 EMA catch up and then see what it does here. The low is about 280 or so. Hmm. 305, 302. So what do we do around 275? It does feel like we have some support around 275. We got 1 minute left on that candle close, just closing as a hammer. We'll take a position. Stop is going to be 275. I'm going to look for the squeeze back up through 3. Quite a bit of selling. No, that was a big rejection. It was a small winner that turned into a loser after the rejection there. It popped all the way up to 332, it says on this candle. I didn't take any profits because it didn't pop back up to 350 yet. I thought that it would at least test 350. But I mean, I had the right entry. Right? Like I got in on the pop, but I didn't take any profits because I thought that this had the potential to retest Hive Day, which ended up turning a winner into a loser for me. So I think that's going to be it for me. That's 3 losses today, negative $39. Now it's starting to get a little bit annoying because back here, when I took this pivot earlier, this pop is exactly what I was looking for. You guys can see why I take these breaks of the pivot because they have really, really high risk reward. Like this pop from 215 all the way up to 340, $1.50 a share. So they have a little bit less accuracy, but they have really high risk reward. So back right here, I don't take any trades now because it's hard to trust, and it ends up actually being the spot that it breaks through instead of back here. And I mean, I was patient throughout this entire pullback, got in right at 290, which was the right entry, but I didn't take any profits as it spiked up and got slammed back down. You know, should I have just exited at 330? I'll have to look back at the VOD to see. Maybe there was a big seller there that popped up that I didn't see. But it is a little bit disappointing that our winning trade turned into a losing trade because of a big rejection. Hmm. Morning on MACD. Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down here. I have some work to do anyways, and we're kind of at 3 strikes you're out territory, right? Yesterday I had 3 winning trades in a row. Today I have 3 losing trades in a row. So I'm gonna shut it down. Negative $39 red day. It sucks, but if we follow our process for the rest of the week, as long as it's not just penny stocks moving the entire week, and then it's gonna start annoying me because I don't usually trade them, and it's gonna make my hesitation even worse. But hopefully, maybe we get some opportunities tomorrow or Friday that don't give me pause that look really good. But I'm gonna shut it down. Thanks everyone that stopped by today. And yeah, we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Till then, take care, stay green. See you guys next time.